Samuel? Are you there? Please, say something. There you are. Where have you been? I've been looking for you. You promised you wouldn't just disappear anymore. I've been looking all over for you. Ow! What's wrong with you? I don't know who you are. I don't know my own husband. You disappear every night. You only talk when it's absolutely necessary. Where is the man that I married, Samuel? I want my husband back!
What have I done? What the hell have I done? Oh no! I didn't want this! No! No! Oh, no!
Get on with it! Stick the damn fuse back in! I want to open the store!
Добър вечер, Дени.
An old dust-encrusted fuse box. There are a lot of wires coming out of the top of it, which then run along the floor joists. Doesn't look exactly safe. Let's see. A few plastic containers, bottles and boxes, light bulbs, cables, grease. And a small carton of fuses. Hopefully the fuses work. You never know in this place. There's just one fuse left in the box. But at least it looks unused. I reckon it's still out of work. Okay then. Just like everything else of Fuller's, pretty well junk. The blown fuse must be under here. Fuller's already had a go at it. But again, he couldn't sort it out. The 3 other fuses look fine, but this one's had it. I should throw that away, otherwise I'll get mixed up. Well, that's that. Now all we need is some power. Okay, so let's have a look. Let there be light. Don't need this anymore. So let's go up. A wonderful working day awaits, full of appreciation and deep personal fulfillment. Ugh.
Finally! You make a big deal about going to college, but you're too sappy to replace a fuse. Put that board outside in front of the store. Get on with it!
The store isn't doing very well. I don't think a cheap sign is gonna change that. But what the hell?
Someone's really turned up.
Huh?
You've put it the wrong way around.
Yeah.
I'd like to get some portraits done. Some pretty black and white pictures. Have I come to the right place?
Oh, yeah. You're at just the right place. Black and white photography is my specialty.
Wonderful. So let's get started. My name's Angelina.
Oh, well, I'm Darren. Let's go inside.
Welcome to Fuller's photography store. What can I do for you?
I wanted to get some portraits done.
Very good. We can start right away, dear lady.
But I thought Darren would...
What? But he's just an errand boy. A pretty child like you deserves a real photographer. Here, go and pick up the post and take this letter to Mrs. Biba in the diner in the main square. I've got things to do.
Son of a...
Dobra.
A collection note for a package. There's a little shop down on the harbor which is a collection point for all the parcel mail around here. If I hand in the note there...
Yeah, just down the street.
Thanks a lot.
Some people. That's Mrs. Biba, I think. As far as I can understand it, she runs this place with her husband.
What can I get you, my boy?
Actually, I'm here to give you something. It's from Fuller in the photo store.
Psst. Hey, come over here. I can guess what this is about. The dirty old swine. I should have known. Vermin ain't so easy to get rid of. Tell him
You better tell him yourself. Whatever it is, you...
Claire! You gonna talk all day? The customers are waiting!
get out of here and tell your boss he can go to hell.
Jeez. What the hell was that all about then? She sure didn't seem to be a fan of Fuller's. I got that much. And the guy in the kitchen, he sure wasn't supposed to see that she had mail.
Hello? Young man! You're Darren Michaels, aren't you?
Yes, and you are?
Oh, excuse me. My name is Newhouse. I'm a doctor at the health center.
At the health center? You mean at the hospital out there?
Well, yes. We call it the Biddeford Health Center. We aren't just a hospital. We have yoga courses and cookery courses and...
And what do you want from me?
Yes. I know your mother, Darren. We had a date here this morning, to be more precise. Me and her. We wanted to hang up some pictures your mother painted in the health center.
Yes, and...
She's not there. She's normally always... She's always punctual, isn't she? This kind of thing never happens.
Look, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'll give her a call, okay? As soon as I'm back in the store. Maybe she's forgotten about your little meeting, Doc.
If you say so, but actually...
I gotta go. I'll call Mom later and tell her that you're waiting for her in the health center. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And then I said to him, Jason, I need a new car, urgently.
Oh, yeah. And then?
What can I say? It's parked right outside.
You can't be serious.
Sure, I'm being serious. A convertible. Totally cute.
Girl, you're just gonna have to show me later.
Oh, yes. There's no way I'm not going to do that. And in this weather.
Excuse me?
Have you got something wrong with your ears?
No, I just wanted a package.
Something wrong with your eyes then?
Huh?
Listen, I'm talking here. Can't you see that?
Yeah, I can see as clear as day, unfortunately. But I have to collect a package for Fuller at the photo store.
There'll be no line jumping in this store. You're online, okay? Now wait until I'm ready.
Ugh, the young kids today.
Always. I'm always having a fight with them.
Bad parents, that's what it is.
So tell me, what's happening with your new car again?
A convertible. So cute. In beautiful red and all the best upholstery and everything.
Oh, you earned it.
Oh, you. We'll take a little spin later.
Where is it then?
It's parked right outside the shop.
Ooh, then we can go for a ride on my lunch break.
But isn't that still a way off?
So what is going on with Fork Truck Pete and that sister, what's her face?
Not the sister. That's Matt's cousin, that's who.
I thought she was...
Hello? Might I get served here?
Of course. Just
Dobra,
as soon as I'm through with this customer.
And that will be when? When she's lying on the floor with blood streaming out of her ears?
Well, really?
I'll serve the lady for as long as I see fit. We spell service with a capital S in this store.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ugh, the young kids today.
Always.
Bad parents, that's what it is.
В принцип всеки петък се стримвам. По възможност и в събота.
A flat metal bar. It's broken away from the railings. It's pretty heavy. A metal bar from the harbor promenade. In pretty good condition, except for the rust and ding in the middle. Biddeford isn't really a port, but there are plenty of boats here. Mostly sailboats.
Петко, чувам да са добре на стрима.
That car belongs to the world record talking lady from the shop. Could be useful.
Oh, my convertible!
Hello, is it something like my turn now? Please, don't let me rush you.
What do you want?
I'm supposed to collect something for Fuller. From the photo studio?
Collection note?
Рекох да не ме заглушава
Have
музиката
you
от
still got
играта.
another note? There's another package for Fuller here.
Afraid not. Can I take it anyway?
I might turn a blind eye for nice customers.
So you're not gonna give it to me then?
Hell no!
Coffee mugs, little lighthouses, badges, mini life belts with Biddeford stamped on them. Plastic house numbers, porcelain lobsters, plastic lobsters, wooden lobsters, metal lobsters. What more could the tourist heart yearn for? Handbills for local events. Grand New Year Bazaar. Hits a go-go, dance till you drop. Oh, man. Every possible kind of form. Garbage and large object collection, telephone rerouting. Here's a form from the Make Our Town Prettier committee. My mom's on the board of that one. It seems you should send in suggestions for improvements around the town. A stand displaying 1,000,000 travel guides. New England, Quebec, England and Wales, Holland, the national parks of the USA, Tuscany, Hong Kong. etc., etc. A well-sealed package. Not very heavy. I can hear a light tinkling, as though there were glass bottles or something inside.
He's sick. That disgusting pig.
What's going on?
Your lovely boss. Does he always try to grope his customers?
No, only the women.
That's not funny.
No, of course not. What can I say? Fulla's an asshole.
Well, he's never going to see me again. Would you bring the photos to print?
Of course. My pleasure.
Thanks, Darren. That's really nice of you. I'm staying at the Wild Coast.
No problem. You'll have them this afternoon.
Thanks, my hero. See you later.
Huh. That's the guy from the diner. Is he following Angelina?
Hey, you're gonna gawk her ass right off. Whatever the bitch said, it's all a dirty pack of lies.
Sure.
Back to work. Hey, you got the package?
Yep.
Well then, give it to me.
How'd the photo shoot go?
Ah, shut up.
I only mean the young lady who...
That alley cat's gone, okay? No little goodbye kissy for little Darren. So now, get to work. The shelves here could use with the dusting and the gutters leaking. And you still gotta take my mama's dogs for a walk. Go back to the post office again and ask if the new photo paper's already arrived. The mailman still hasn't brought a collection note. And the store could also do with a good sweeping.
He's cranky. I guess Angelina did a number on his ego. Nice job. Okay then. But before I start with all that stuff, I'd better give Mom a quick call and remind her she was gonna take the pictures to the hospital. And somehow I've got to get a hold of the film so I can make some prints of Angelina's pictures without Fulla catching me doing it. Huh. Fulla. What? I've only been working here a few days, and I've already given up hope that he might, just once, behave like a normal human being. This is probably the most stressful holiday job that I've ever had. Holiday job in a photo studio? Yeah, sure. Great stuff. Little things and some money. And the reality looks a little different. Fatter and more bald. Know what I'm saying? Excuse me.
What do you want?
The package I picked up was jingling a bit. I hope there was nothing broken inside. What was in it?
It's of damn all concern to you.
The store's not doing too well, is it?
What's that got to do with you?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's no doubt because of the vast competition here in Biddeford that nothing's going on here. I mean, what else could it be?
This is the only photo studio here.
That's what I thought. Mrs. Biber was... Yeah, well, she didn't seem to be very pleased to get your letter.
So? Did you read the letter?
No. But she seemed to know what it was about.
I bet. It was a bill. Who's pleased at getting a bill?
Should I go and develop the pictures from the shoot earlier?
You should do what I tell you to do.
But I could do them now, and then you don't need to later.
You do your job, I'll look after the photos.
I have to get hold of the pictures somehow. They must still be in the camera. The postcards all show scenes from New England. They're the regular cards you see everywhere around here. That's a photo enlarger. You put the developed film in the top and then lay a sheet of photo paper on the table below. The picture is projected onto the sheet and so exposes the paper at the same time. An old, rather battered locker. Water and all sorts of other liquids have splashed on its door and left their mark. Huh. Seems like she's on the phone.
What the hell are you doing using my phone? While you're on the clock? I'm gonna take it out of your...
Yeah, whatever. Look, I just wanted to call my mother, but it was busy. It's not gonna make you go bust.
That broad spends the whole day on the phone, right? She already called up once while I was shooting this. Some drivel about Adrian in a mirror. I hung up. I got better things to do than listen to that kind of crap.
My mother called, and you didn't tell me?
The old lady's not all there in the head anymore, huh? Where you going? You're not on your own time yet.
Mom? Mom! Mom! Okay, think, Darren. I need an ambulance. Emergency? Yes. My name is Darren Michaels. I've just found my mother. She's unconscious.
Take it to the hospital, but take it real easy. I'll be following in my car in a minute.
How does it look?
Difficult to say, Darren. She must have stumbled, and now she's got a serious head injury. Exactly how bad it is, we can only find that out in the hospital.
But how can she fall so badly that she...
It's not the time for that now. Was your mother taking any kind of medication?
I don't know. She always has a load of painkillers for her back. No idea.
Please, collect anything that looks like medication and bring it back to me in the hospital. What about allergies?
Not that I know about.
That's not good enough for me. Could you find out the family doctor's number? Perhaps get a hold of her medical records.
Yeah, I'll go look. I'll see you in the hospital.
Very good. Oh, yeah. And we need your mother's insurance card.
That too? Okay, please, can you hurry? Oh, man. Medication, insurance card, med history. I better hurry. It's a beautiful lamp. Pity it doesn't work. My mother's old bureau. That's where she keeps her letters and financial papers and such. I don't fancy poking around in there just now. She always had her insurance card on her and didn't lock it away. It's gotta be somewhere else. My mother's old bureau. That's where she always had her insurance. My mother's old, she always... Mom likes thrillers and horror stories. Mainly old stuff. Edgar Allan Poe and the like. Perhaps it has something to do with her time in England. She's often told me that she worked in a castle. That could well have come straight out of one of these books. A plant on the windowsill. No idea what kind it is. A plant on the windowsill. We've already just had a few days of warm, sunny weather back to back. It's supposed to get worse tomorrow. I think the furniture's still from her time in England. Quite old-fashioned, but stylish somehow. What do we got here? Handkerchiefs, a glasses case, an art magazine, a few Valerian draggies. Nothing I could use. My mother's old bureau. She always had a... It looks like Mom was having a cup of tea while reading, before she fell over. Mom's handbag. All her papers must be in there. All right, I found the insurance card. My mother keeps her pots and pans and that kind of stuff in these cupboards. A few pots, shallow bowl, plates, tray. I'll take the bowl. That's where Mom indulged herself. We had an ancient wood-burning stove at home that she used to cook on. She always said it reminded her of her time as a cook back in England. Mom's bathroom. Like her old place, nothing special. We weren't poor, but my mother was always modest. And by the looks of it, so is this place. An old lighthouse. Underneath's a sign with Willow Creek written on it. Perhaps it's from the place in England where she lived. She first came to the US in her early 30s, after the accident. I had a shower here this morning, and Mom laid on a huge breakfast. I ate some of it, for her sake. Back at uni, I usually don't eat anything in the morning. Aha, some medicines. Boxes, little bottles, tubes. I'll take it all with me. Even though that's quite a lot of drugs, I don't think it's everything. There must be more of her medication around here. Toothpaste, face cream, no other medication. There's nothing else of interest in there, and I can earn my own money. There are pictures of me and Mom in the cabinet. I can't see any pictures of my father here. Mom hasn't got many of him. I guess the memory of his death is too painful for her. When I was a child, I always wanted to know who my father was. Mom told me about him, and finally showed me some pictures. That was the only time I've ever seen pictures of him. My mother's old bureau. My mother's address book. I ought to find her doctor's number in there. No, I haven't got the number from Mom's old family doctor. I can't even remember his name, to be honest. Dr. Weck, Mick, something. If I read his name, then it'll come straight back to me. Let's see. It won't open. It's got a leather strap running from the back to the front cover. And there's a lock on it, too. I need a key. Looks like there's something under the flower pot. It's a little brass key. Yes, and that's got the address book open. Now then, what was that doctor called? Dr. Wakefield. That's him. And here's his number. I just hope he's still got my mother's old medical records. Hopefully the number's still okay. Dr. Wakefield, 555...
Dr. Wakefield's practice?
My name's Darren Michaels. I have to speak to the doctor. It's an emergency.
One moment, please.
Dr. Wakefield speaking.
Hello, Dr. Wakefield. This is Darren Michaels.
Darren, is there something wrong with your mother? Mandy said...
Yes, she's been taken to the hospital. She's fallen over and taken a knock to the head. She's not responsive.
My God.
The hospital needs her medical history. Do you still have it?
Yes, we must still have it here.
Can you fax it over to the hospital?
Yes, of course. Hopefully nothing's happened to her back.
Wouldn't the support corset protect her?
Not necessarily. The corset supports her spine when she's standing up or sitting, but her back has been so badly affected since the accident that a fall can have repercussions.
I don't think I want to know. I'll just go down to the hospital and find out there.
Do that. I'll have the records sent to Biddeford. I hope your mother gets well soon.
Yeah, me too.
Give her my best wishes as soon as she's awake.
I'll do that. See you later, Doc. Well, that's done. Dr. Wakefield has always cared well for Mom. With that back of hers, she could barely stand, sit, or lie down without causing her pain. And then she has the burns as well. And now this. The people in the hospital must know what medication Mom was on. Boxes, little bottles, tubes, every kind of packaging imaginable. I think the doctors will be able to make something of it all. Now all I have to do is work out what dosage she takes. She must have some kind of a weekly medicine dispenser thing somewhere. A large ceramic bowl from out of the kitchen. When I was a kid, we used to always argue about how long I was allowed to watch TV. I used to be able to sit in front of that thing for hours. Now you couldn't get wild horses to drag me in front of one. I can count myself lucky the damn thing didn't completely frazzle my brain. Mom's into music. That's one thing we have in common, though our tastes are a little diverse. Mom's Beethoven doesn't mix that well with Nirvana or Pearl Jam. The cup is still half full. Why did she stand up and go over there? Maybe the phone rang? Maybe she got some bad news and fainted. That doesn't seem like her at all. That's Mom's medicine dispenser. There's a box for every day of the week. She always used to joke about it. She said that because of her back, she consumed more pills a day than a whole old folks' home. but she never took as much as she was actually prescribed. She always maintained that she'd just forgotten to. The old home doctor then gave her the dispenser at some point. I always found it rather stupid not to take your medicine, preferring to suffer in agony. Okay, this medication and the stuff in the bathroom should be enough. So, that's everything done. I'll just get dressed and then go straight to the hospital. I hope she's all right. Hello, I'd like to see my mom, Rebecca Michaels.
One moment. Your mother is still being examined. Have you got the medication with you?
Yes, here. Oh, and I've also got the insurance stuff. When can I...
Ah, thank you, thank you. I will tell Dr. Newhouse. Please take a seat for a moment. I will let you know when you can go in and see your mother. Excuse me, Mr. Michaels?
Yes?
There is a problem with your mother's insurance card. It looks like she didn't make the last payment.
I don't know anything about that, and I really don't give a damn.
Obviously, it's a little unpleasant, but the insurance...
Look, I don't give a damn about the insurance. What's happening with my mom? How long is this thing gonna take?
I'm sure you'll be able to see her soon. But if we can't clear up this thing with the insurance, then we've got a problem here. You'll have to... Okay, Doctor. You can see your mother now. The room at the end on the right. Mr. Michaels? I can't help it if your mother hasn't paid, or if the bank hasn't made the transfer, or if the medical insurance won't cover the treatment. Here, take the card with you and sort it out. In the end, your mother will be back on her feet, but she won't have a roof over her head anymore.
Thanks. How is she?
Not good, I'm afraid. The wounds to her head are quite severe. She must have fallen against the table with all her weight behind her.
Is she going to...
One should never give up hope. But your mother's in a coma, Darryl. I'm sorry, but it's rather uncommon for someone to wake from a deep coma. Perhaps if she'd been discovered earlier, and there wouldn't have been so much bleeding in her skull.
You're saying that if I'd gone to her straight after our talk, then she wouldn't be here now, lying in a coma?
But my boy, you couldn't possibly have known.
Yeah, how could I have known? Fuller.
Sorry?
Fuller! She phoned the photo store. She wanted to speak to me, and Fuller just hung up on her.
Wait, no, that's completely...
She was conscious and wanted help, but Fuller...
Darren, get a grip. It was an accident. No one's to blame, and you should just...
Just what? Simply sit here at the bedside and hope that she gets better? I can't barely believe that.
Darren! You must...
Thanks for your help.
We'll look after your mother round the clock, Darren. You're welcome to stay here. I'll pop in again later.
I'm not gonna stay here. I still have things to sort out. That fat bastard's gonna pay for this. It seems to... She looks so weak. My mom always had a fighting spirit, and all this just because she tripped. Probably rushing around again, doing someone or other a favor. And then that stupid cupboard. Oh, and Fuller. If he even... I'm gonna squeeze him dry for this. Typical hospital chic. There's a little medicine bottle lying here. Perhaps it belonged to the patient who was here before my mother. Laxativa. A powerful laxative. Huh. Sounds useful. A set of scales. Maybe for overweight patients? They certainly look a bit more solid than the ones you have in your bathroom at home. There's a stethoscope. Presumably someone from the clinic forgot it when washing their hands. Doc Newhouse has definitely still got his. I'll take it with me. They ought to be able to rustle up another one here. A stethoscope from the hospital. It doesn't look particularly old, or used for that matter. Not especially valuable. I reckon these things come in packs of 10 nowadays. That doesn't belong to my mom. Maybe it's from the person who was in here before.
No, I can't tell you that. You can talk to her son if you like. He's just... There he is.
Hey! Hey! You! What the hell? A nurse. And perhaps an administrator as well. They could well be one and the same nowadays. The way things look, it seems that healing the patients is a kind of secondary activity. Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
What do you think? You reckon my mom's gonna be okay?
Oh, you never can know. But for sure, there are people who come out of comas after much worse accidents than your mother's.
And folks who die from much less serious accidents.
You mustn't give up hope. Pray for your mother.
Statistically speaking, that has no effect whatsoever. Save my time. What did that guy want?
He was asking about your mother.
What did he want to know?
He wanted to know if
she made it?
Yes. But I told him we're not allowed to give out patient information. He ought to speak to you.
I don't know the guy, but he's gone out of his way to avoid me twice already. You know who he is?
I'm sorry, no. But he's got an accent. I think he's British. But with something else, too.
Listen, I don't want that guy anywhere near my mother. You understand?
Of course.
This Dr. Newhouse, what's he like?
Oh, he's very charming. A really nice guy. He isn't from around here. He came to Biddeford a couple of years back. But he's really settled and got on well, and...
Yeah, nice story. I wanted to know if he was a competent doctor.
Oh, yes, of course. He used to run a huge hospital in Atlanta. He's apparently rather overqualified to be working in a little place like Biddeford. But I think he enjoys the small town life. Your mother is in good hands.
About all this insurance garbage.
Best to have a look through your mother's bank transfers. If she's transferred the money, then it's up to the bank and the insurance company to slug it out between themselves. You can simply drop it by with the certificate if you like. Then I'll see to it.
Thanks. Thanks very much for the information.
No problem.
There's no choice. I can't believe I've got to scrabble around in my mother's private things so the damn insurance company doesn't let her die. I mean, what are they gonna do if I can't find any proof that my mother transferred that money? Throw her out of the door in her bed? Alright, come on, Darren. That's what I was looking for. I'll take both. Pencils. Run-of-the-mill pencils. I'll leave that here. You always need a sharpener for pencils, and I can't see any here. A packet of cigarettes. Is Mom a secret smoker? Oh, there's just playing cards in it. I'd have been surprised. stuff. Let's see. I reckon that these are my mom's account transactions. This is the rent, and here's 18 bucks, 45 to the phone company. Aha, and here's the transfer to the insurance company. That's from last month, so she has paid. Those guys need to kick up the butt. What's this? A letter? Dear Rebecca, I have received your letter and am pleased that you're well. Of course, I will furthermore send you the full amount. Your suggestion is well intended, and I wouldn't have expected anything else from you. But there's absolutely no question about your receiving any less, even if he has now left home. You have done a wonderful job, and it's now time that you did something for yourself. Enjoy your life in Maine. With love, C. Strange. The full amount. Even if he's out of the house now? What's that all about? Here's my mom receiving a fat payment from... a $1,500 transfer from a bank in England. BCW Bank, Willow Creek Branch. Willow Creek? That name's familiar. Mom used to live in England, but was it in this Willow Creek? And who is this C character? And why is he sending her money? Here it is again. And there! She seems to get the same amount every month. Seems to be practically her only source of income. I don't get it. She always told me she got a monthly injury compensation payment from insurance of the guy who caused the crash, which also killed my father. I definitely wasn't supposed to see that. Suppose it didn't really matter to me either. It's just that... it's just not like my mother to keep secrets from me. I'll ask her why she's lied to me as soon as she gets better. The little wooden box I found in my mother's bedroom. It's quite hefty, seems to be solid wood. It won't open. There are some kind of symbols on the lid, and I can't even begin to work out what they are. The little wooden box, there's some kind of... Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
I have my mother's bank transfers here. She's already paid for the damn insurance.
I was thinking the same thing myself. You know, the insurance company has made a boo-boo. Can I have them? Don't worry, I'll get on it.
So that will be the end of it then?
Yes, I'll clear it all up with them.
Good. I don't want to just sit here and wait for some news. I can drop by at any time and ask how she's doing. Jebediah Bitifa or something like that, I guess. Whoa, that can't be right. It's the guy from the hospital with Fuller. Who is that guy? And what's he gonna do with Fuller? I ought to listen in. I can still get Fuller a talking to afterwards. An ancient, rickety tool shed. This is where Fuller keeps the junk that he doesn't just throw somewhere in the yard. So, not much. Fuller hung out the laundry yesterday for him and his mother. I just found it somewhat surprising that a fat ass like him does the laundry for his mother. Alarming. The man is way past 40 and gets bossed around by his mother. A length of tow rope, a bit more than 2 yards long, and in great condition. Ropes are always good. A stethoscope. If somebody told me the old fat pig dumped poisonous waste, then I'd completely believe it. I don't understand why Fuller doesn't just get this stuff picked up. What does he want to keep it for? Damn! Door is locked. There's a little hook that's keeping the door locked. I've got to reach it somehow. Huh. The window is directly above the door. Perhaps I can somehow unhook the lock through the window. A tow rope from out of Fuller's backyard. It looks like it would easily hold a ton of weight. I could reach the basement through the light well, but removing the grill would make too much noise. And apart from that, I'd never get up the creaky basement staircase quietly. I've got to find another way. I'll never get those bars out of the wall. I can forget that. A completely rusted bucket with big holes in the bottom of it. The handle's busted off. I'm gonna leave the bucket there. There really isn't much more I can do with it. The handle from a rusted bucket. Compared to the bucket, the handle's still... That's the cage for Fuller's mother's dog. But the dog is usually in the house. At least, I've never seen it here in the cage. The water bowl is completely dry. Perhaps I can still use it. A reel of fishing line. There seems to be a little still on it. Only the line, I'm afraid. No hook. A reel with a few meters of fishing line on it, but no hook. I can't go. I've got to be careful. Fuller's talking to that guy on the other side of that window. I can't understand anything, but if I'm not careful, they'll see me. dog bowl from Fuller's backyard. Nobody's gonna miss that. It used to belong to Fuller's mother's dog, but she spoils the little mutt half to death. The handle from a rusted bucket. Compared to the bucket, the handle still looks really sound. Not exactly a fishing rod, but maybe I can catch something else with it. That should work. I've just got to be really quiet. If the handle hits against the door, they're both sure to hear it. Done it. And they didn't notice anything. The door is open again. I can go in. I just hope it doesn't squeak.
Yeah, Angelina. That might have been it. I wrote down the surname as well. For another $10. I might even remember where I put the note.
Not necessary. I know her surname. And your assistant, what about him?
What assistant? Oh, you mean Darren? That's my errand boy. He works here in the semester holidays.
A good errand boy is worth a lot. What do you know about him?
Why are you interested in him? You want to poach him from me? No problemo. For $100, I'll even write his notice straight away. What the hell? We'll say 50.
Not interested. Do you know him well?
What's with all the questions? His mother came in and asked if he could work here for a few weeks. He's a pussy. One of the eternally afflicted. Oh, I feel so bad, and the world is so unfair, and it all makes no sense. Boo-hoo.
So you don't know him?
And I've got no
That was close. They're both heading for the exit, and I'm none the wiser. Who is this guy following then? Me? Or Angelina? And why? I'm gonna ask Angelina about the man. She's British, and that guy's got a British accent. You never know, perhaps she knows him. But first, I've got unfinished business with Fuller. Greasy map of the world. My World Tour is written next to it. A few places are marked. The USA around Utah, Arizona. Then over to Hawaii. Afterwards comes North Africa, possibly Egypt. Then China, and then Europe. Looks like somewhere in Germany. What have we got here? The US, Hawaii, something illegible, and Europe. Fuller's smeared half of it with his filthy paws. Nothing in the whole damn world can make me want to open this door. You've just got to have a look around here to get the impression of what it looks like in there. The fatso lives on coffee and burritos. That ought to make for an early death. A very old-fashioned safe. There's a logo on it. M.T. Schultz, Pittsburgh. Looks at least 100 years old. I find it hard to believe that Fuller hides anything of worth in there. He's more the paranoid type that wants to protect his telephone bill from prying eyes. It's locked. But I've seen how they open these things in those old classic gangster movies. Perhaps I could even crack the safe. But at the moment, I don't have a good reason to put my life on the line for it. I don't know what Fuller would do if he caught me. Hey, where's the big jellyfish? These photo mounts are made of a kind of pressed card. You can stick photos into them to make them easier to hang. The drawback is that they can get easily dusty. That's a light box for looking at slides and negatives. What the heck? A secret door hidden behind the photo backdrops.
What the hell are you doing here, boy?
Keep your hands off, Fuller! Because of you, my mother's in a coma.
What have I got to do with your mother? Out! Out of my basement! Go on, get out of here!
You should have told me that she called. It was obvious that something was wrong. I swear I'm gonna...
You threatening me? You? Threatening me?
If she doesn't wake up, I am gonna...
Out! Get out of here already! You're fired! Out! Out! Out!
You better pray she doesn't die. That's the only thing that'll save your fat ass.
Get out of here! If I ever catch you here again, you'll end up next to your mother.
You're gonna regret this,
You'll
Fuller.
never do anything, you pussy! You haven't got the balls! You haven't got the guts! You got nothing!
I'll think of something. I'll get him back. That man's gonna pay, you just wait. But I still need the film with Angelica's pictures on it to make his camera. I could use his darkroom to develop the film and make the prints. If he's not gonna pay me, then that'll do as a partial payment. Now all I have to do is somehow get him out of the store.
Well, come on. Come on in. Take a look around. Buy something.
Thanks.
Ah, a young man. You a soldier? Bit slow on the uptake. Have you served?
Sir. No, sir.
Ah, so you want to put me on, do you? Find something for yourself and then beat it.
Wire cutters for cutting cable. I'd like to buy these wire cutters.
$2. What? You don't want to negotiate? You got too much dough, right? You got it coming out of your ears. You never worked a hard day in your life, and you got no idea on the value of $1, I bet.
$2 is $2. In your time, it might have been a meal out and a movie for two. For me, it's half a burger.
Be happy that you can just buy a burger like that. There ain't many beef farmers left. All that imported stuff from the third world is screwing up the prices.
And pretty soon you won't be seeing a single lonesome cowboy herding steers across the prairie and singing those old trail songs around the campfire. Oh.
Yeah. Typical youth humor.
The junk shop owner. He appears to be blind. Maybe he's just putting it on. That would fit with the cliche.
Tell me, why haven't you served in the military? Over there in Iraq, they could use whoever they can get.
In Iraq? The war finished 2 years ago.
Well, you don't say. Read my lips. President Bush is gonna bring that Saddam to justice.
Sure. You know that Bush is no longer the president, right?
Well, he'll still bring him to justice. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Sure. Do you know Fuller?
That idiot next door? Sure I do. You can never choose your neighbors, can you?
You don't seem to like him.
That guy hasn't done one damn decent thing in his life. Lazy bastard just sits around in his store, has his mommy wipe his ass for him, and lets the place fall apart down around his ears. Heed my words. He represents everything that's wrong with this country.
You got that right. From World War II, everything's just been downhill, yeah? Pity we haven't got any decent wars still going on. They've even ditched the draft.
Go ahead. You just make fun of it all, boy. A good licking or a couple of tours in Vietnam, that wouldn't be such a...
What do you mean, such a?
Nothing. The guy's a pig. There's something not right about him. He's hiding something, I'm telling you.
And who are you? Is this your shop?
No! I just busted in here and you've surprised me, just as I was about to clear the place out.
Oh, how amusing. How long you been waiting to roll that one out?
Your generation lacks respect for its elders. I fought for you to live here. I spilt my blood for you.
And I'll pay your pension. So we're quits, Mr...
Edward D. Warren. Ed for short. Or Eddie to my friends.
Hello, Eddie. I'm Darren. Nice shop you got here.
In my time, it wasn't customary to speak to older folks using their first name.
But we're living in my time now, aren't we, Ed?
I think you should find whatever it is you're after, and then scram.
Just like I thought. Play the good citizen, but still chase after every dollar. Like the devil chases souls. Yep, it's famous. I've seen this picture hundreds of times before.
Come on, what then?
So, what's life like here in Biddeford?
You're not from around here?
No. I go to college in Boston.
Oh, so you're an intellectual then? Some sort of desk guy, an egghead who just talks clever all day?
No, I'm...
Then you're the artistic type. Some depressive junkie? You're fixing your problems with a self-help group, right?
No, I'm studying physics.
Well, we sure need that stuff. So what brings you here?
I'm visiting my mother over the semester vacation. She's been living here a few months now. Rebecca Michaels?
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Rebecca.
Oh, man. My mother's in the hospital here.
And?
Do you think she'll be in good hands there?
Well, is she sick? She won't be in bad hands if she's in the hospital.
No. I meant, are the doctors here any good?
Well, how should I know? You think just 'cause I'm old I run off to the doctor and complain every day? I haven't been to see no quack in years. I'm as fit as a fiddle.
Yeah. People were made of better, stronger stuff in the past, right?
Yeah. Get to my age and then we'll talk about it.
You know my mother by any chance?
Nope. I don't get out much. What's she doing here? Fresh sea air and all that?
You could say that, yeah. A quiet place to retire. Huh. The bimbo reads fashion magazines. Why is she doing that here? Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, it's you. The hoodlum from this morning.
Yeah, well, I was in a rush. An important job to do.
No reason to be impolite.
Of course not. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
Lykka Petko.
You know the Bibas?
From the diner? Sure I do.
What can you tell me about them?
I don't gossip, but her marriage ain't exactly the best.
Really?
Yeah, she's apparently very nice, a little jaded and stressed out. Can't ever forget her work. But him, he's an asshole. Been boozing for 2 or 3 years and is a bit free with his fists.
Why doesn't she leave him then?
No idea. She's real dependent on him. The diner belongs to the both of them. And besides, where would she go? Nobody would take her.
Does Fuller often get packages delivered here?
Yeah, a few times a month.
Why doesn't he have the packages delivered to his store?
He does, but when he's not there, the mailman delivers them here and then Fuller picks them up for himself.
Do you know what was inside the package that I picked up a little while back?
How should I?
There's a really pretty young lady I've seen walking around here. Do you know her?
You had a real good look at her, didn't you?
Do you know her?
Well, I wouldn't say no. She came in here and asked about a photo studio, so I sent her up to Fuller's. She interrupted a conversation I was having with a friend. Can you believe that?
Ha! No way. I don't believe it. Hey, do you know Eddie from the junk shop?
Yeah, sure. I know pretty well everybody here.
So what's going on with him?
He's single. Was never married before either, as far as I know. But hey, who could put up with him for long anyway? Those never-ending war stories. Can you imagine that?
Is he really blind?
I never heard different, but I wouldn't put money on it either. He's a chiseler. Maybe he's got disability just so he can make himself a few bucks.
What can you tell me about Dr. Newhouse?
The Newhouses? Well, they came here a few years back. He was a big cheese in Boston. Miss Newhouse has brought a good bit of style to this little town. I know her. My girlfriend Betty is her best friend.
Really? She gossips as much too?
We don't gossip, okay? You really want to know all this stuff?
What brings someone like her, or maybe even you, here to Biddeford?
Someone like me. You mean a fat woman in a state full of fitness freaks. You're one charming kind of guy, aren't you?
No. I meant, why would someone as unfriendly as you work in a town tourist shop of all places?
Well, you ain't exactly a picture of politeness yourself.
But I don't work in a tourist shop either.
Okay, look. I grew up in New Jersey. My father didn't think the neighborhood was good for me or my brothers and sisters. So he got himself a job in a paper mill and dragged us all up here. Satisfied with that?
And you just weren't able to get yourself a job in construction or driving a truck?
Look, you shouldn't go trying to take on someone like me. You're punching way above your weight, son.
Huh, I can't deny that. The other package for Fuller, there must be photo paper in it.
Could well be.
Well, can I have it?
Sure. No, please.
The collection note? Yes, I don't have one.
Then you'll have to ask your boss for it. Nothing goes out of here without a collection note. You got me?
Is that a girlfriend of yours?
Yeah, one of my best ones.
Does she sit about in this store the whole day?
Excuse me? I wouldn't know what that would have to do with you.
I just mean, has she got a job or not?
She doesn't need one. Actually, her husband has plenty of dough. And even if he didn't, then she could easily earn good money working as a photo model.
As a photo model, huh? That could maybe help me out some.
Oh, really?
Nothing. It's okay. Along with all the tourist stuff in the mail, you're the local travel agent too, aren't you? Have you got anything about a place called Willow Creek in England?
Course we do. Take a look back there in the flyers.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Those are banners and flags. Some very stylish, some completely not. I reckon the big ones must be for yachts. I think I'd rather my hand fell off before I took any of those with me. Now I wonder, there might be a mention of this Willow Creek place in these travel guides. Really? Willow Creek pops up in the index. Page 42, section Horror, Hauntings, and History. Let's see. There it is. Only a small box. Willow Creek on the trail of the killer. Willow Creek on the trail of a killer. Fans of the macabre will certainly get their money's worth in Willow Creek. For in this sleepy little English town is where you can wander in the footsteps of Samuel Gordon, the Worcestershire Ripper, the scion of one of England's oldest families. The Gordon's castle lies close to the town, but is unfortunately not open for guided tours. Murdered 5 people in 1981. Among these was Victor Valley, who was just 12 years old. The Willow Creek Museum awaits the horror-friendly visitor with a permanent display relating to the murders, as well as guided tours from April through to October. Charming little town. And from this horror resort is where my mom gets her monthly payments. Wonderful. Man, I would love to smack the old bastard in the teeth. New England Photo Service. I reckon a person has to be pretty damn desperate to have their pictures taken at Fuller's place. But he's the only photographer in town. And there are plenty of tourists here. Presumably he does most of his business with them. I can't explain it any other way, just how he keeps his head above water. I can can only ask myself just who he conned into making him the elk design. Or then again, maybe he didn't have the picture made. He probably just stole it. That's the entrance to the police station. I never feel too good in the face of the state authorities. A red, white, and blue string of lights. God bless America. A red, white, and borrowing a light bulb is one thing, but cutting up the cable without a reason is just vandalism. A red, white, and blue string of light. How nice. That's stinking garbage, and I have no particular interest in it. Ugh, not a particularly pleasant smell. It's a trash can from the diner. There'll be plenty of left. I haven't seen such an old bubblegum machine for years. Belongs to the diner. They do that whole nostalgia thing in there too. Psst. Mrs. Biber.
Yes, what can I get you?
I no longer work for Fuller.
Good for you.
I don't know what's going on between you and Fuller, but I've got nothing to do with it. Mind if I ask you a few things?
If it's not gonna take too long.
A guy in a uniform. Seems to be a security guard. Someone who guards over other people's money for money. The pinnacle of our society. I don't want to speak to him. If I felt like some casual conversation, I'd watch a talk show. Young woman. She looks sad. Everything okay?
No, it's not actually. Carrie died here 2 years ago. She was my best friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did it happen?
You're not from around here?
No, I'm from Boston. I'm spending the semester break at my mother's.
Yes. Well, Carrie committed suicide. No one knows why. Everyone loved her. She was intelligent and always happy. I think there's still a picture of her in old Fuller's display window. A young woman with dark hair and green eyes.
Yes, I know that picture. A really pretty woman.
She had so many plans. After studying, she wanted to open a kindergarten here in Bedford, with her husband Jason. I just don't understand it. From one day to the next, she changed completely. Became really reclusive. She was depressed, melancholic all the time. No one could reach her anymore. Not even Jason. Even though they loved each other more than anything. Then one day, she just threw herself into the sea.
And no one knows why?
No one. Jason has never gotten over it. He couldn't help her. A few months later, he married that brainless bimbo with a convertible. He probably just felt so lonely. It's definitely got nothing to do with love.
He must have been really lonely.
Excuse me. I'd rather be alone right now.
Of course. I'm sorry. First of all, I need Angelina's photo prints. I'd be a joke turning up without them. There's no point sneaking in again. I've got to lure Fuller out of the shop first, so I can take care of Angelina's photos.
Come on in. Come on. Oh, it's you.
How do you know that? I thought you were blind.
You stink of perfume, like a whorehouse I once visited in Lille. Smells like teen spirit.
If you say so. An old radio. Looks like a piece of pro equipment. Are you a radio hobbyist?
Radio hobbyist? You mean one of those idiots who thinks it's neato mosquito when they have another idiot on the air who only lives 2 blocks away? I was a wireless operator with the Hells Devils, 8th Infantry Regiment of the 4th U.S. Infantry Division. I was there in North Africa, and in Sicily, then in Normandy on Utah Beach. I was wounded on the Rhine. That was my eyes. And I got a Purple Heart for it all.
And so, are you still a radio guy or not?
I'm keeping the tradition alive. I talk to old buddies real regular. Can reach them anywhere. I'd say I'm kind of an expert. Keep my things in good working order. Always prepared.
Ah, okay. Good to know. Shelves of useless junk.
If you're just gonna bitch, then get lost. Come on, what then?
How do you get on?
I'm blind. How the hell do you think I get on? Idiot.
Does it hinder you a lot?
Well, sometimes. If I need to look something up. Looky here. I'm supposed to figure out what this coin's worth, and I got no idea. It's a rare piece, but it's pretty worn out.
Can I help you with it?
Oh, sure, kid. If you think I'll fall for that, I give you the coin, you run out the door like a punk. I ain't stupid.
Yeah. How you getting on with the coin?
You got nothing better to do than annoying me?
If I find out the price of the coin for you, will you stop behaving like an ass?
Can't promise.
Show it to me. You can keep it in your hand. A woman's profile. A few stars and numbers. Have you got something like a coin catalog?
Yep, it's on the counter.
That's a flowing hair scent, wreath reverse, from 1793. $2,400.
Not bad. $2,400. I'll offer him $800. Seller's an idiot. Thanks. I owe you one.
Oh, I'm happy to help old, disabled people. Put one over on the other folks. You're welcome.
Perhaps, you could do me another favor right away. I lost my cane.
You've done what? How can you lose a cane?
Not how you think. I was playing poker and, had a slam dunk hand. But how could I know that that idiot from the hotel had a straight flush?
You bet your cane and lost.
Yeah.
Who's got it now?
The owner of the Wild Coast Hotel.
Alright then. I gotta pass by there anyway, so I'll ask him.
Thanks. You know, maybe you ain't so much of an idiot as I thought.
A cupboard full of lots of different things. Books, a record player, boxes, measuring instruments.
You want to buy something?
I'll have a look around first. Honestly, I've got no idea who that is. The city's founder? A coin-op telephone. It says out of order. If I was needing some small change, then I might take a closer look at it. But not right now. Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
Are you from around here?
You could say that. I grew up here.
Then you surely must be able to tell me some exciting stories about the place.
Ah, well, not really all that much happens here. You know, a young woman killed herself a couple of years back. She jumped into the ocean, and they had to call in extra divers to help search for her. They didn't save her, though. They never even found the body. But apart from that, there's never really much happening here.
You mean Carrie? Did you know her?
Yes, we used to go to aerobics together.
Any idea why she killed herself?
We'd all like to know the answer to that one. She was always so happy. We used to have lots of laughs together. But then, she changed. She also stopped coming to the sports events, and I lost touch with her. I had no idea she was having such a hard time with herself.
Thanks for the info. See ya.
Goodbye, Mr. Michaels.
A gray door with a frosted glass window. The sign over there says pathology. The monitor shows my mother's vital signs. Pulse, breathing, etc. No idea if the values are positive.
The mirror. Don't go through the mirror.
Mom? Mom, are you awake? Did I just imagine that? No, I couldn't have. My wrist still hurts. She must have been terribly afraid of something. What did she mean? I'm standing here in front of my mother, who's lying in a coma, and all I can think of is her lying to me about her accident. So what kind of a person am I? Perhaps there are medical records or bills in the cupboard. Forms, transfers, making people well again. I don't want to stop her from doing her job. I could try to lure Fuller out of the store with a phone call, but I've got no idea how. And he'd recognize my voice, too. Perhaps I can find someone who'll do it for me. What a flashy thing that is. Probably some tourist's cool ride. Europeans in particular confuse New England with California and think they should be driving around in convertibles, Mustangs. Mrs. Biber.
Just a moment, please. Yes, what can I get you?
What can you tell me about Bedford?
I grew up here. I guess I always wanted to move away from here.
But, well, that never happened.
I met my husband when I was 17. And we opened the diner here. It was a wonderful time.
Ah, yes.
I couldn't have known then that he was so... that he... I have to get back to work. You want anything else?
Can you tell me anything about Carrie? She's supposed to have killed herself?
Yeah. Carrie. She was a really sweet girl. Always ready to help, always friendly. She wanted to open a kindergarten here. There's not much in the way of childcare around here. Parents have to take their kids for miles to find a place. She was such a lovely girl. She still had her whole life in front of her.
I saw a photo of her in Fuller's shop window. She was really pretty.
I don't know.
How do you mean?
It's not important. Too late anyway.
I really don't know if this place makes any money. There's usually a few people whenever I come in. But is that enough? Surely you can't get by on just that. I'll take some bread. Mrs. Bible won't mind. I'm not gonna feel any better if I stuff my pockets full of bread. Ketchup, mustard, mayo, salt, pepper, syrup, sugar, and a bottle of vinegar. They got 2 or 3 people working in the kitchen. One of them's Mr. Biber. Mrs. Biber works out here on her own. Looks like she really works her butt off. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
I've noticed you're really into those fashion magazines. Are you a model?
Me? No.
You're joking. You must have at least thought about becoming a photo model.
Actually, I have been approached.
Oh, well, that goes without saying. You see, I work for a magazine from down south. Ladies in Chrome.
I've never heard of it.
It's the high society magazine in the South. The magazine for the top 10,000. I'm working on a piece about life and style in the far north.
Really? How exciting.
Maybe you have some recent photos. I'd love to show our readers what fine taste people up here in the north have. This is your stylish convertible, right?
It is! And I'd be happy to be at your disposal for your story. But I don't have any photos.
That shouldn't be any problem. There's an excellent photographer in town, isn't there?
Fuller? You can't be serious. That savage would never be able to like me properly.
Oh, so you don't know?
What don't I know?
Who Fuller really is. He's an internationally renowned star photographer from New Zealand. He's been living here incognito for a few years. He's working on his life's work. He's documenting normal folks' lives here in America. Of course, he's got to stay unrecognized to do that.
That's... No, I can't believe that.
I swear, in a few years, when he's finished his work, it'll be the photographic sensation of the decade.
I can't believe it. Show me some of his pictures, then we'll see.
Well, all right then. But don't run away.
No way.
My God, what a lame story. But vanity has always been the biggest weakness for those kind of folks. If I can show her a few reasonable photos, then perhaps she'll lure Fuller out of the shop for me. I don't want to read that again. The Worcestershire, whatever, Shire Ripper. 5 dead. Guided tours through the pools of blood. Ugh. Not interested. The Maine state flag always looks more like a beer company logo to me. At least they've got an elk and a tree in there. That's nice. The other stuff's small ads. This is where the locals sell the junk they no longer need. Lawnmowers, baby cribs, record players. I'll pass. I'm not interested in these forms for residents. I've got a few things going on which, like this town, could be a little more interesting. But I don't hold out much hope for success for them. I don't want to talk to him at the... A few glossies and a health magazine. Oh well. I'll take the fashion magazine here. Oh, and the auto magazine. 2 magazines. Well thumbed through and a few months old. Hardly any text, plenty of pictures. Just the way those sucker celeb mag readers like it. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Look, I've got a few of Fuller's earlier works.
Really? Show me! Which pictures are by him?
Oh, that one there. Oh, and there too. Oh, and here's another one. Exactly. Yeah, that one here.
They're really wonderful.
It was all just for the money. In reality, he's an artist, you see. But the project here in Biddeford is his real passion. Living incognito amongst us common folks, working on his masterpiece. Can you imagine what an effort it must have been for such a cultivated and refined man like Fuller to play a primitive, stinking, sweaty asshole?
That's true art.
You should call him. He could photograph you in your car up on the cliff top.
Now?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've got to hurry, my lady. I've got a deadline to meet in Dallas, you see.
Oh, of course. I'll call from my car phone and arrange a photo shoot.
Oh, excellent. But don't let him realize that you know his true identity. Who knows what that'd do to his artistic spirit.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Shall we meet here again this evening?
Agreed.
Unbelievable. And there he goes. Now I ought to have a few hours to get Angelina's film and develop some pictures in the darkroom. Alright, let's see. But I need to get a move on. Fuller's had a clock built into it, so does it. Hey, that sounds good. Yes, there you go. Aha, a film cartridge. Those will be the photos of Angelina. Well, apart from that, there's just a few papers, a folder, and, whoa, a pistol. I'd better leave everything where it is. As soon as I've developed the pictures and made copies, I'll pay Angelina a visit in the hotel. I could really do with a bit of a distraction. Should I go through Fuller's garbage? Well, that would mean going. The undeveloped film with Angelina's pictures on it. I've got to develop it and then make prints from the nags. Then I can take the pictures to Angelina in the hotel. Okay, I can develop Angelina's film here. And then make some prints. Let's see, what do I need to develop the film? The film with Angelina's pictures on it and developer fluid. There ought to be some fixer around here, and the developing drum is there on the table. The undeveloped film is placed in this container. Then the developer fluid is added, and after a short while, the film is developed. First of all, light off. First, I ought to get everything together that I'm gonna need to develop the film. First, I ought to get everything together that I'm gonna need. A small bottle of photographic fixer. There's not a lot left in there, but it ought to do for one more use, I think. First, I have to develop the film before I can fix it. A bottle of distilled water. I'll take that with me. I don't want to develop any photos right now. As long as I don't want to develop any pictures, that doesn't make sense. The undeveloped film with Angelina's pictures on it. I've got to develop it and then make prints from the nags. Then I can take the pictures. First, I ought to get everything together that I'm gonna need to develop the film. I'd better leave it here. I can't do much with it outside the dark room anyway. First, I ought to get everything together that I'm gonna need to develop the film. Bottle of distilled water. You can use it for, among other things, stopping the development of films and prints. I don't want to develop any photos right now. An old clothes dummy. Oh, judging by the smell, it's been damp at some point, and now it's just moldering away. I wouldn't accept it as a present, even if it didn't stink. A water faucet. If Fuller had a garden he wanted to water, he could do it from here. But in Fuller's garden, you'd get pretty well nothing to grow. That rickety pallet is blocking my view of the lower shelves. I can't see what's behind there. Photo developer. Looks like it's been there for a while, but the bottle's still sealed, so it could still be good. Ah, there's the photo developer. Alright, now I've got everything I need to develop the films. Let's go. That's enough. The developer also has to be diluted. Great. Just as it should be. A dish with about half an inch of diluted developer. The film is in the developing drum. The developer's still missing. First, I have to develop the film before I can fix it. The film is in the container. I made sure that it wasn't too tightly rolled so that the film is in the container. I made sure that it wasn't too tightly rolled so that the developer fluid can reach all parts of the film. Good. Now the developer is oxidizing. It gives off electrons, which are then picked up by the silver ions in the light-sensitive layer of the film. The more light that falls on a location, the stronger the reaction, and so the place then turns darker. In short, the film is now being developed. Okay, I guess the film has to be developed now. So, that ought to do it. I'll pour out the developer. Now the fixer's got to go in to stop the film from keeping on developing. Oh well, that's the end of the fixer. But what was left ought to have stopped the development process. I hope everything's worked. So far, so good. The film's developed. That's the first step. Now I have to make the prints. Let's see. I need photo paper and an enlarger. That's over there. Then I need developer. There's still enough in the bottle. The film has been put in. I could turn the lamp on now, but that's not going to do too much if there isn't any paper below the lens. That would be the stop bath. That's the dish for the stop bath. You can only put distilled water in it. first day, my friendly boss made it very clear to me that he kept an exact account of the amount of money in the till. A little hint that I shouldn't consider ripping them off. I don't need any of them. It's rare that I even hang any of my pictures. The picture frames could do with being a little more professionally presented. But to be honest, they don't really deserve it. A used up, chewed up ballpoint pen. Fuller's old-fashioned telephone. There's nothing more that interests me. No. A cheapo, old-time cuckoo clock. A testament to Fuller's fine taste for stylish interior decoration. I think Fuller took his mother on a world tour a few years back. Might be a kind of souvenir. Nothing stands out. Perhaps this little angular hole on the clock face. Is that how you wind it up? Nothing stands out. Hey, there's a small opening. I could easily fit my finger in there. There's a few papers here. Some sort of forms and a pad of blank collection notes. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
Is there maybe a package for me there, Darren Michaels?
Mm-hmm.
The lovely Rosie hasn't noticed, and I'm now the proud owner of a blank collection note.
Nope, nothing there.
A blank collection note for a package. If I fill it out, I could pick up a package from the tourist shop. Good. I filled it out. One package for Fuller at his address. I hope that does it. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
Hey, Rosie. Did you know Carrie, Jason's first wife?
Of course I knew her. I know everyone in Biddeford. At the end of the day, this is the only post office.
And what was she like?
What's that got to do with you?
I just wanted to chat a little.
Well, We never spoke too much. She was always so quiet. No comparison with Juliet. At least with her, you can have a decent conversation. Jason's so lucky he got her now. That really wasn't a life for a guy like Jason. With someone like that dragging him down, now, at least he's got a life.
Ah, so lucky.
Just between you and me, one shouldn't speak ill of the dead. But that Carrie, she was always a little strange.
Uh-huh. I wanted to pick up Fuller's package with the photo paper.
No, please. I can't accept that.
Why not?
It's not signed.
Fuller has to sign the note?
Stupid. The mailman, of course. Fuller should ask him tomorrow morning. He probably just forgot when he was posting the note through Fuller's door.
It's not possible for me to wait till tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah.
I've got absolutely no idea what the mailman's signature looks like. And Rosie in the tourist shop will know it for sure. There'll be a dozen or so collection notes passing through her hands every day. All of them with his signature on them. I really don't think I need yet another collection note. I don't want to talk to him at the moment. Mrs. Biber?
I'll be right there.
Has the mailman been here?
Yep. Puck was here taking his lunch break. But that's already some while back.
Where could he be now? I really need to speak to him.
I'm guessing he's probably in the health center.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
Have you seen the mailman by any chance?
Yes, he was here earlier. He brought your mother some get well cards.
Ah, okay. Thanks. See ya.
Goodbye, Mr. Michaels.
Huh. The news of my mother's accident seems to have spread quickly. A couple of people have already sent flowers. So many greetings and get well wishes. I think she's very active in the community. She's probably got a lot of new friends here. Lots of different people have sent my mother cards. This one's signed P. Puck. Wait a minute. That's the mailman. The mailman signed it. So now I've got a sample. I think I could forge his signature really well. Better not now. Dr. Newhouse?
Yes.
What can you tell me about Mrs. Biber? And you know her husband?
Now, a person shouldn't speak ill of others, but her husband... He's a very unpleasant fellow. He was a big deal in the football team at high school. And Mrs. Biba married him young. Yes, I think she imagined her life turning out some other way.
Like how?
Now, she works hard in the diner. She probably does the work of about 3 people. But I don't think it makes a great deal of money. And her husband, well... yeah, let's leave it at that. They certainly don't have a lot of money, just a lot of work. And no love.
Uh-huh. Do you know Fulla?
From the photo store? Yes, a little. I've not had much to do with him. He doesn't get involved in the community. He never comes to the spring flea market or to church.
Yeah, right. Who would have thought it?
I know that your mother got you a job at Fuller's. I advised her against it, but she said you were interested in photography.
That's right. Only my job there doesn't have much to do with photography. So, a crazy good time guy like yourself can surely tell me where all the action is here in Bideford.
Dear me, no. You got me wrong there. I could perhaps give you a few tips on which are the most interesting evening courses at the community center.
No thanks. I'll pass on that one.
I thought you would. Hey, we do put on a disco for young folks every 2 weeks. I suspect you've rather grown out of all that, too.
I don't think I was ever that age. Discos, bars, parties. I was never into that sort of thing.
Your mother mentioned that. You were rather more of a loner, yes?
I have no idea where she got that from.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't intend to.
So, to sum up then, in Bideford, you're best off being over 50 or dead. Might just suit me.
What? Being over 50?
Yeah, exactly. How is she?
No change. But she's a strong woman.
That's what everyone says. After the accident, she had to bring me up on her own.
Yes, I heard about that. What kind of accident was it?
A car crash. It was in England. We were driving on this tree-lined road. The car got into a skid and we smashed into one of the trees. Dad didn't survive, and Mom's had to wear that support thing ever since. I came away without a scratch.
Do you remember anything about the accident?
What? No. I was only a few years old. No memory of it. I've lived here in the States for as long as I can remember.
It's just that when I examined your mother, I thought her back and neck injuries seemed rather unusual for a collision-type accident. They looked more like injuries from a fall from a considerable height, causing her to have suffered compressed vertebrae.
And what do you mean by that?
Nothing at all. If your mother said she was in a car accident, then that must have been the case.
Or she's been lying.
Darren, I certainly didn't mean that.
Huh. Thank you, Doctor. Well, that's it for now, I guess.
If you've got any more things you want to ask, just come and find me.
Okay, good. I've got the original. I guess the signature is kinda half-decent. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
I wanted to pick up Fuller's package with the photo paper.
No, please. So how did you manage to scare up the old fart?
Yeah, I bumped into him in the town.
You were lucky. Here, Fuller's photo paper.
Much obliged. An A4 size package. Fairly heavy. Either it really is photographic paper, or it's full as dirty mags for the week. Ah, nice. 50 sheets of top quality photo paper. The sheet is lying in the frame. The distance of the lens from the paper seems fine for the picture to be projected properly. Then let's have a go. The longer I leave the lamp on, the more contrast the picture gets. Let's try. Okay, I think that's enough time. The exposed picture has to be developed first. Then it goes into the water bath afterwards. Here we go. I have to take the sheet out as soon as it has the correct brightness. Too early, it stays too light. Too late, it'll get too dark. Ah, the contrast is good and the brightness is right too. But the picture itself is garbage. I can't do much about that. Maybe some of the other pictures are better. Well, at least the exposure and development times seem to be right. I'll try it again. The sheet is lying in the frame. The distance of the lens from the paper seems fine for the picture to be projected properly. Okay then, let's try again. I have to measure the exposure time exactly. Too short and there won't be enough contrast. Too long will give me too much. Okay, I think that's enough time. Here we go. I have to... Contrast is good, but the picture's too light. Next time I need to leave the paper lying a bit longer in the development. The sheet is lying in the frame. Okay, I think that's enough time. Yes, I've really got it now. Brightness and contrast are correct. If Fuller only had any idea about photography, then maybe even the picture would be good too. Maybe the next one. This could well take some time. 36 pictures and not one of them actually any good. How can a guy take a beautiful woman like Angelina and then photograph her so badly? But I can't do much about that. The pics have been snapped and I gotta take them to her at the hotel. At least I get to see her again. And it's also not my fault that the pictures are bad. What the? Mrs. Biba? Can I help you, Mrs. Biba?
Oh. What are you doing here? I thought you quit.
Yes. Yes, I have. I'm just picking up my stuff.
Oh. Right. Is Fuller there?
No, not at the moment.
Then, can you give him this? Give it to him personally. As soon as he gets back, I gotta go.
I feel sorry for her. There's something not right going on here. Could it help me get one over on Fuller? Huh. But I can't put Mrs. Biba in danger. She gives the impression she can't take much more. If I could secretly open the envelope, then I could look at what's inside and put the envelope in the mailbox later. That would keep Mrs. Biba out of trouble. But how can I open the envelope and close it again without Fuller noticing? I've already developed Angelina's photos. Oh my god, there really is running water here. I never would have thought it. The kettle's full. Steam's loosening the glue. Got it. The paper hasn't torn and the glue still sticks. I can reseal the letter. But first, I want to see what's inside. Holy, that's gotta be $1,500. There's some kind of blackmailing going on here. Mrs. Biba hates Fuller, and she didn't want her husband to see that I gave her a letter from him this morning. It would seem he knows nothing about it. But what's it about? Sex? Oh, surely not with Fuller. Something to do with the diner, or from Biba's past? I'd love to send Fuller off to jail for blackmail. But First, I gotta find out what he's blackmailing Mrs. Biber with. But tomorrow's another day. I'll put the letter in Fuller's mailbox and get myself ready for my date with Angelina. Hopefully he doesn't take too much pleasure in it.